So, this is the world. So, those of you who are here will remember we'd built this. We had our mending villager. He was in a more hutty looking hut. We had our cobblestone generator. And I think that was basically it for what we had. So, we've made some changes. We'll go and start with the mob farm. So, we built a mob farm temporarily on this island in the background here. That ended up not being the most efficient, so I tore it down and built this much nicer, much better one. So if we come up here, whoomp, bubble elevator to the top, kill them up there, comes down into this mini auto sorter, which handles all the kind of very regular stuff you're going to get, and then has plenty of overflow for the other odds and sods you can get, but I empty it semi-regularly. I did this more so for building the mega auto sorter that is my next project. I have a frame of reference to come back to and remind myself how auto sorters need to be put together. Yeah, this is it. If we wait here for a second or so, it'll spawn something. We've got, it's 2 layers, so it's decent spawn speed. I don't need anything really any better than this. I've got maxed out gear. This is just helpful for being able to pick up levels when and where. But as you can see, once you're up here for a little while, it spawns pretty good. It's set up so that it doesn't have to compete with any caves or anything. While I'm up there, that's the only place mobs are going to spawn. Makes it nice and efficient. Only way we can make it more efficient is by adding more layers, which I can do if I want to. So that's that. Obviously, over here, we've got what is currently our bulk storage, which is just standard chests. This was me playing around with autocrafts and working out how they work. Right now I've got it set up to just turn bamboo into sticks. This was where I'd been planting trees. As you can see, they've still got some of the more manual stuff, but this is an auto tree farm or semi-auto tree farm. I stand here, plant saplings, automatically bone meal, and then prints, and then I just farm logs. We have an auto sugarcane farm. We have an auto kelp farm. That means I'm out of lava, which is what I'm using to power this bad boy at the minute. Let's go refill this bad boy back up while we're here. Doink, 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 doink. We've got our cows. I created a 2 cow pen essentially, and then what I can do is I can open this and that only lets the kids through. So when I want to breed them, I can breed them, let the kids through, and that way I can maintain the same amount of cows for breeding without risking losing any children after breeding them. I've got 3 cows with different 3 sheep that I've dyed different colours so that I can have white, red and blue wool for future projects. This is the cobblestone generator, very similar idea to the cherry farm. Water, lava, prints this way. Once this gets it, prints this way. Lovely and big. Massive wheat farm that spans all the way over there. And then for the excess seeds, I've got a little mini bone meal farm. Obviously, that's the mega furnace. Over here, we've got the bones of what is going to be the mega auto sorter. So this is the dump chest. This goes into a dropper elevator, which goes up into there, connects into there, and that then feeds into the auto sorter. I'm kind of building it. I'm going to kind of build out a base level of storage for what I need now, and then hopefully I won't need to expand it for a while, but I'm going for an easily expandable design, so I'm hoping it won't be too big of an issue. Come here. Stop interrupting! So we've got this. It's 3 blocks tall. I'm going to be just putting an item frame on the very top one so I can see what's in what, and then I'll be going for a upside down stair here so you won't be able to see any of the ugliness up here. What I did want to do is have the drop off chest in the center, and use hoppers underneath the ground to relay it back over here. But I was like, that's such a waste of iron and so many more chests to gather when this is already quite resource intensive. But yeah, so that's where we're at for this. Obviously, it's not like mostly wired up yet. I'm going to try and get a good chunk of it in, move some stuff over, make sure it's all working nicely, and then kind of expand it as I go, which is kind of cool. So that's that. Before I started that, I was like, that's going to take a lot of iron. So I built an iron farm, which is just over here. Pretty standard iron farm, zombie, 3 villagers being petrified, spawns iron golems. All nice, all handy. Does okay. I emptied this just before I logged off, so that all of that is literally just from while we've been online just now. I tore down the entire village apart from what I was using to create space. Then we've got the villager breeder over here. Villager breeder / trading hall at the minute. I do have plans to make this trading hall larger. I'm going to leave this as the villager breeder. And what I want to do is create a 2-part system where they go out of here into a infection chamber to get better trades, and then they move on into the trading hall. But for now, it's all in one. We've got a couple of clerics for the rotten flesh, a couple of farmers to sell wheat to and buy golden carrots from, a couple of Fletchers to sell 6 sticks to, and then we've got all of our librarians, which have the majority of enchants we'd want in our books. So yeah, that is basically it. This is our mending librarian over here. He got infected, and as a result now I can buy a mending book for 1 emerald, which is beautiful. And this right here in front of us is our bamboo farm. It is a 2-tier double-sided bamboo farm. I do have the resources put aside to make it a 3-tier system. I've just not got around to it yet. But it produces pretty well. And it produces enough sticks so that I never need to worry about sticks for projects. And also to have enough to kind of sell on. So that's where I'm kind of at with that. Finally got some ender chests. We've got a little enchanting room. So yeah, we're getting there. I want to get the auto sorter done. Then after that, projects are going to be, I mean, it won't be finished probably before I move on, but we're going to get it in a working enough condition so that it handles the majority of my storage. Then we're going to move on to building maybe a witch farm, raid farm, slime farm, blaze rod farm, or sorry, blaze farm. Just so, because once I've got a blaze farm, I'm then not as worried about building a infection chamber to get better trades. But right now, I just don't really have the resources to heal them. And what I don't want to do is think I have enough, putting them in the chamber, and then they get stuck there for ages and I can't trade with them. What I want to do is have the supply of golden apples and potions of weakness before I start moving them across. But I do need to do a bit of breeding there, because obviously I want 2 villagers in there that will stay in there afterwards just for breeding purposes. Let's sleep quickly. So yeah, it's going to be get this done to a good enough standard where it houses the majority of stuff pretty well. Then it will be a case of moving on to building some other farms out. I want this to be a forever world that I can come back to at any time and just kind of play Minecraft. So my plan is to spend this current Minecraft phase building all the infrastructure I need, so that if I come back to this in the future, and when I come back to this in the future, whatever I want to do, I can do. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm going to just try and spend the time building the infrastructure of this world here, building a cool trading hall. My ideas for trading hall are pretty fun. What I want to do is I kind of want to build it like a old school department store, so that each floor is just all the same villager, and then it can be themed around it. So like a bookstore floor, an armorer floor, a cleric floor. And that'll be a fun one to work on over time and kind of improve the visuals of it. Instead of just all of these ugly fucking farms that I've got currently. I also want to expand the kelp farm, because right now the only way it's like efficient enough to make it worth it is by using lava. I know it's backed up right now, but that's because I have to refill the lava buckets manually. instead of just leaving it, come to grab kelp blocks and filling it up. But what this does mean is that at the minute, 100% of this kelp is for my mega furnaces, which is coming in pretty handy at the minute. Because I'm smelting a lot of that cobblestone to stone to make the stone bricks and stuff. So yeah, that's where we're at with the Minecraft world, but I'm loving playing the game again. Earlier on, I had to go down and do some redstone mining because I was out of redstone, and obviously the auto sorter requires a fuck ton of redstone components. No doubt I'm going to need to go get some quartz from the nether in the not too distant future as well, which is suboptimal, but it is what it is. So yeah, this is the world. I'm very happy with it so far. I think it's one of the better put together worlds I've done for sure. So that's kind of fun. Okay, didn't need that last stack 64. I'll go put that back in here. I know what you're thinking. Why do you lay everything out like that? It's just so the metal buckets always go in the last slot. So when I turn up here really quickly, I know where any metal buckets that need filling up are going to be. And then I can go bang, and then I've got that as an overflow / trash receptacle. At the minute, I want to build an actual trash receptacle. I've just not got around to it. This is the problem with Minecraft. I have a billion ideas and you just never get around to enough of them. But yeah. I'm really curious about using auto crafters. What I'm tempted to do is, once I've finished a million other projects I've already mentioned, is install an auto crafter into the iron farm, turn them into iron blocks, save on how often I need to remember to empty it. And the same with the bamboo farm. Have this one for the sticks, have that maybe redirect under here somewhere into an auto crafter that fills into a chest here that just has sticks directly in it. I think that could be quite cool. But yeah, this is the world. I'm very, very proud of it. I've worked pretty hard on it so far. I'm looking forward to finishing the auto sorter. That's going to be on my project over the next week or so while I'm playing. Get the auto sorter done. It's going to take a lot of farming. I need to get a lot of wood for the chests and a lot of redstone. But other than that, it's pretty good. The good news is I have a lot of ability to sell things, and I'll be able to sell them to the villagers, and I can also buy redstone from the villagers because I've got 2 clerics, which can help a little bit, but it's quite expensive, and I don't want to do that too much if I can avoid it. But yeah, there we go. That's the world. I don't know what I'm going to do with this space once it's done. I'm debating whether I tear this whole thing down once the auto sorter's done, and I make because right now I don't have like a real home. Like that's the equivalent to my bedroom over here. If we come over here, this is the equivalent of my bedroom, and it's just I know like I'm terrible for leaving beds all over the place. I don't know where my bed is currently. I think it's over there. But I always have a bed in here. I have chests in here so that if I need to AFK and I'm worried about dying, I put all my stuff in there so that if I die, I only lose levels. Got a compost crafting table, furnace, saw, brewing station. But like this is like the only thing that could be considered like a room of like a house type thing. The rest of it is just absolutely industry at large. I love the look of my wheat field. I want to do more cool stuff like this, but I just don't know how that's gonna go for now. So yeah. I'm also tempted to see about if this is like a multi-purpose design. Can I build off from this side of it and this side of it and this side of it to like quadruple the output? Does that work? Because if it does, that'd be kind of cool. But yeah. And I'm also taking these poppies and I'm putting them in. But right now I'm like, oh, if I was to AFK for a day on here, this would be overflowing. So, do I make it so that it's iron blocks? Because then a double chest will hold literally 9 times as much. And because I'll still have the double chest of iron feeding into the auto crafter, if for whatever reason I manage to AFK or leave it long enough, that the double chest is full of iron blocks, at least the overflow is then another double chest, which would have to fill up with iron ingots. So it essentially gives me 10 times the capacity. But to do that, I'd also need to build a little item sorter to weed out the poppies, which again isn't a problem, but it just adds complexity that I'm not sure I want to be fucked with. The other option would be coming back over here. The other option would be doing what I said I didn't want to do, but I mean, if it's kind of an investment of iron, realistically, I could run a hopper line underneath the entire ground here. I don't like water lines, don't suggest them to me. I could run a hopper line all the way over here and have it come out into this, and then it can just go straight into the mega storage. Problem is, does that then risk overflowing the mega storage and causing problems there? Which is kind of why I also want to do the autocraft. So maybe I do both. Maybe I feed it into an autocraft, a mini item sorter, to filter out the poppies and the iron, then send the iron through an autocrafter, and then send it straight into storage here, so that we're good. But yeah, that's where I'm at the Minecraft. Well, this thing's going to be fucking huge. Like, this is the doorway. It's 5 blocks wide. And as you can see, we've got a lot of room here. And I've done that on purpose. I've created a lot of room so that the middle of this is going to be big and open and grand. But it also means if I've made this far too small and I don't want to blow out the back wall and keep going that way, I can instead make like rows. So I can leave like 3 blocks open at the end here and have it be like, oh, this item is building blocks, this item is food, this item is that, and have it so that it zigzags backwards and forwards. But yeah, that's where we're at so far. I want to make some Minecraft content. I don't know what it's going to look like right now. It might be a case of maybe I take this bit of this VOD and edit it up as like a video and see what kind of reception that gets. Maybe I won't stream this world that often, but instead I'll make the occasional video about what I'm working on. I don't know. My content's in a weird spot right now where I don't really know what I want to do with it, other than the fact I want to do it. So kind of have to wait and see. But yeah. Right, that is it from me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've had a nice evening hanging out with me. I've enjoyed hanging out with you, and I will catch you in a bit. Peace.